Make the ground shake.
Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Gummy, and today we are back for another statue tutorial. Today we are doing a updated version of Toy Freddy. Now you may be asking why I'm doing this. It's a bit random, and it's because I was actually looking through the designs I had stockpiled from a while ago, and I actually found a updated Toy Freddy, Chica, and Bonnie. So they're really nice statues, that's what I'm going to say. They are nice designs. And a lot of you guys have been asking for FNAF content. I've kind of been trying to mix it up a bit, but there's still the, I guess, FNAF fanbase that really still do want some content. So I'm going to try and implement a few videos every so often. I want to, again, try and mix it up a bit more. I've got, of course, the Stranger Things series, and I've got a bunch of other series going on, Rick and Morty, Overwatch, so stuff like that I want to try and focus on. But, of course, I'll throw in a few statues because I want to try and meet as many people's demands as possible. So if you're a Five Nights at Freddy's fan and you want this design, then leave a like on the video. It'd be really appreciated, and it also helps me to see how many of you guys are actually still around, just so I can get a feel for it. Anyways, with that said and done, let's get into the tutorial. So the blocks you're going to need are the following. You'll need orange clay, orange wool, black wool, cyan clay, grey wool, block of quartz, blue wool, cyan wool, and red wool. So not many materials at all. In comparison to the statues I've been doing recently, a very simple statue. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but who knows. It should be a shorter tutorial. So anyways, let's begin. We're going to start off by building the legs. Just like the other version of the Freddy I did, I think it was Adventure Freddy. It's got the dynamic arm pose, which is where he's holding his arm out with the microphone, which makes it a bit more interesting in my opinion. So yeah, anyways, let's begin building. So we're going to start off, as I said, by building the legs. The legs are 12 tall and 8 wide. So we start off on the first layer by placing 1 black wool, 1 orange clay, 1 black wool, 2 orange clay, 1 black wool, 1 orange clay, and 1 black wool. Now, if you followed that well, you'd notice that's 8 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of course, because it is 12 tall, 8 wide, that means each layer needs to be 8 blocks wide. So that is our first layer. Now there are a few questions you may be asking here. 1, why are we building out of orange? Well, it's simple. The orange is a really dark orange / brown colour. If you build out of brown, it's going to be the wrong shade. I'll grab the brown and you'll see that it is indeed slightly too dark. So that's the normal Freddy colour, and then this is kind of the Toy Freddy, kind of orangey tinge kind of colouring. So that's why we're using orange. It's not because he's orange, but it's because he's a very light brown. Okie dokie. So the next layer, the second layer, is the exact same. So that is 1 black wool, 1 orange clay, 1 black wool, 2 orange clay, 1 black wool, orange clay, and 1 black wool. And again, that is the second layer. After every layer, I'll back up. You guys can pause if you want to and catch up that way. That's always a good way about going about things. Anyways, the third and fourth layer now, very simple. 8 blocks of orange clay. So again, I repeat that, the third and fourth layer is 8 blocks of orange clay. And to cap that off, for our fifth layer, we're going to place an 8-layer row of black wool. So it caps it off nicely, and currently it is 5 blocks tall and 8 blocks wide. Alrighty. So moving on, the next 3 layers is going to be 8 orange clay. So this is our 6th, 7th, and 8th layer. That's going to be orange clay. Again, 6th, 7th and 8th layer is indeed orange clay, and that is 8 orange clay to be more specific and I guess more factual. So the next layer, which is the 9th layer, is going to be 3 orange clay, 2 black wool, and 3 orange clay, and again that is our 9th layer. Our 10th layer is going to be 2 orange clay, 1 black wool, 2 orange clay, 1 black wool, and 2 blocks of orange clay. And again is our 10th layer. For our 11th layer, which is our second to last layer, is going to be 2 black wool, 4 orange clay, and 2 black wool. Whoops, completely destroying everything here. And then that brings us to our 12th and final layer for now, which is 1 black wool, 6 orange clay, and 1 black wool. And once you've done that, that will give you this shape that looks kind of like a V, and that's kind of to match the endoskeleton / I guess suit where the joints are. So on the actual character, Toy Freddy, you'll notice in between each leg and the pelvis, which is this area here, the pelvis region, you'll notice there's kind of like the lines where the legs meet for pelvis, and that applies to both, hence we have this kind of V shape. Yeah, so essentially the black wool is joints and details, and then the orange clay is the actual main body. Okie dokie, anyways, that is 12 tall, 8 wide, and that is the legs. As you can see, very, very simple. Now, of course, you can pause here if you want to. I'm now going to start making some progress on the body. So, keeping this a nice fast pace, we're going to start off with the body. On top of this black wool right here, we're going to start off by placing 1 orange clay. At this point, I'd normally say go forward to left. Do not ignore that. What we're then going to do is go towards the right. So instead of going towards the left like we normally do, we're going to go towards the right. So we're going to place 1 orange clay, 4 orange wool, and 2 orange clay. And that will bring you all the way across to the other side, and that will give you a layer. That's our 13th layer of the build, aka the first layer of the body, and that's going to consist of 2 orange clay, 4 orange wool, 2 orange clay. Now, like I said before, you don't go 4 to the left, but on the right side you do go. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, using orange clay, and essentially what this does is marks out where the hand starts and where the right arm begins. Now, of course, the left arm on this is kind of dynamic, so it's going to be in a pose position, which means we're not going to have it down. Now, if you want to make the right arm similar to the left, and you just want to have him like holding his arms up like he wants to give you a good old hug, then feel free to not do this. But of course, I'm going to show you how to make the static right arm and then a dynamic left arm. Anyways, what we're going to do is ignore the arm for now. We're going to continue with the body. So, what we're going to do is on the second layer, we're going to place 1 orange clay, 6 orange wool, and 1 orange clay. Now, what we're going to do, from this orange wool here, this is layer number 1. We're going to have 7 layers in total. So, on top of this orange wool here, we're going to build up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same with this side. So on the right side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then what we're going to do is go up diagonal on either side, bring it 2 in the middle, and it gives you a shape that looks like this. Now in terms of dimensions, this would be 9 tall, 6 wide if you put a block in every corner. But there's not a block in every corner. So the middle part is 4 wide, the left side is 7 tall, the right side is 7 tall, and then the bottom is, of course, 4 wide. So we're going to go ahead and fill this whole area in using orange wool, and this is going to be like his chest, because if you look at the character model, there is kind of a two-tone thing going on, where his chest is lighter than the rest of his body. Beautiful, we now have something that looks like this, and again, in terms of dimensions, 4 wide, 7 tall, 4 wide, 7 tall. If you were making it a square, it would be 9 tall, 6 wide. So hopefully that makes sense. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to match this. So on the left side, we have the orange clay. We're going to build up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 this time, and build 1 across, and it will match up to the same height. We do the exact same on this side. So we build up 7, go 1 to the left, and we now have something that is 9 blocks tall. So it's 9 blocks tall and 8 blocks wide. For the final 3 layers, because of course it's going to be 12 tall, we're going to do 3 layers of simply 8 orange clay. So that's 1, 2, and our lucky number 3. And that brings us all the way up to the top, and again gives us our 12 by 8. So from this block here, right on up to the top left corner is 12 tall, 8 wide, and that is our body. But it's not, because we're going to be adding some 3D effects. So right now it should look like this. It looks a bit plain, it looks a bit top heavy as well, as you can see by the big plain area. Talking of 3D effects, that's what we're going to work on now. So we come to the top left corner, this one right here, and we're going to go 1 block over to the right, the second block on the top left corner. Right here we place 1 black wool, and we're going to go down twice. We then repeat this on the right side, so we go to the top right corner, go 1 to left, and place a row of 3 black wool, and you now have a letter 1, or a letter 1, sorry, that was a facepalm moment by me, a number 1, and a number 1 on this side, with a gap of 4 in the middle, a letter 1, what am I thinking? Anyways, what we're going to do is on the top side, on the left, we're going to build 1 to right, top side and right, we build 1 to left, and we repeat this on the bottom, so we now have a C, and a backwards C. What we're then going to do is, in this gap on each one, we're going to place a cyan clay, and now we kind of have a rectangle and another rectangle, and in between the 2 cyan clays, we're going to place 2 black wool, and now we have a bow tie. That is indeed our bow tie, and that's the first 3D effect we're going to add. The next 2 and I say two, they're the exact same, it's just in different places. What we're going to do is underneath these two black wool in the middle, we're going to go down 1, 2, and on the third block we're going to place 2 black wool. Again, this is all 3D, so we're building it on top of, not into, not replacing, on top. Underneath the left one, we're going to go down 1, and we're going to place 1 more black wool, and underneath the right one, we're going to place 1 grey wool. So again, there's a 2 block gap in between the bow tie and the button. Then what we're going to do is underneath this black wool here, we're going to leave another 1 block gap, and then we're going to place the exact same formation, so a 2x2 square, top left, top right, bottom left, black wool, bottom right, grey. And it will end up looking like this. So right now it should be 24 tall, 8 wide, or I guess 12 wide if you're including that little pot there, and it looks like this. So again, I'll zoom in a little bit just in case you want to pause. This is the legs, and then this is the body. So that is essentially the core structure of the legs and body complete. We're now going to work on the arm. So the arm is very, very simple. It is 12 tall, 4 wide. We've got the first layer here, which is basically the 13th layer of the build. On top of this, we're going to place 2 more layers of 4 orange clay. So that's the first 3 layers. The 4th layer is going to be 4 black wool, and then we're going to follow a pattern. So just like here, we got 3 layers of orange, 1 layer of black. We're going to repeat this. So 3 layers of orange, 1 layer of black, and if you notice, this will leave us 4 blocks away from the top. So all we do is 4 layers of orange clay. That will bring you all the way up to the top and give you your 12 by 4. So just to repeat that, the arm is 12 by 4. The first 3 layers is orange clay. The 4th layer is black wool. We have 3 more layers of orange clay, 1 layer of black wool, and then 4 layers of orange clay. And once you've done that, looks like this. Now, of course, it does look a bit funky at the moment on the left side because we are missing the arm. But that's essentially all we're going to do for now. What we're now going to do is come to the bottom left corner and start working on the sides. So we come to this black wool, and we're going to go around to the left side. We go 1, 2, 3 to the left using our orange clay, and we're going to work up from here. Essentially, the side on the left is going to be 24 tall and 4 blocks wide. However, the 4th block is already done. This layer here is the 4th layer. It's already done, as you can see, which means we're placing 3 blocks per layer. So essentially, all we're doing is matching up whichever blocks at the side. As you can see, if we've got black wool here, it's black wool. This is an exception, these 2 blocks. So the first 4 layers, including this one, is going to be orange clay. That will bring you up to the 5th layer, which as you can see here is black wool. So we place 3 black wool. So again, to repeat that, 4 layers of orange, 1 layer of black. We then have 5 layers of orange. So 3, 4, 5. As you can see, that meets up with the black here, so we place a layer of black. For the next layer, this is slightly more difficult, but that's not really saying much. We place 1 black wool, and then we're going to place 2 orange. So it goes black wool, 2 orange, black wool. And it gives you like a U shape like that. And then what we're going to do is simply just build up 12 all the way across using our orange clay. And that will bring you all the way up to the top, the very, very top. And that will give us our complete side. So it's 24 tall, 4 wide. The first 12 layers goes from that block right there, right on down to this one here. As you can see, that's a bit more difficult. And then we get up to here, and it's simply just a 12 by 4 of orange clay. If I zoom out, you'll see it looks like this. And again, if you want to pause at any point, feel free to do so. Right now, again, does look a tad peculiar because he's missing his arm, but we'll get to that very, very shortly. Okie dokie, so come around to the right side, and we're basically going to do the exact same. However, this time we're not going to build all the way up to the top, we're just going to build the side of the legs. So we come to the right side, to this black wall here, just like before. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 to the right. And again, just like before, it is indeed 12 tall, 4 wide. However, 4th block is already done, this one here. Well, it's essentially the first block on this side, but same logic applies. So the first 4 layers is going to be simply orange clay. Again, 3 blocks on each layer because the 4th one's here. The 5th layer is going to be 3 black wool. On top of this, we're going to do 5 layers of orange clay. And then that brings us to the 2 final layers, which is going to be 3 black wool, and then the final layer is 2 orange, 1 black wool, just like the other side. And as you can see, it looks like this. So that's 4 layers of orange, 1 layer of black wool, 5 layers of orange, 1 layer of black wool, and then the final layer is black, orange, orange, black. Okie dokie. So that is the right side of the leg. Again, 12 tall, 4 wide, and we're now going to move on to the right side of the arm. However, before we do that, what we need to do is build the base of the arm, the platform for the arm. So we come around to the rear side, we're going to come to the bottom layer of the arm, this one here, and we're going to extend back 1, 2, 3 all the way across, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and what this gives you is a 4x4 platform underneath, which looks like this. That's going to be the underside of our arm. If you didn't build that, you'd have a gaping big hole in the bottom of his hand, and that would look kind of unusual, kind of peculiar, I guess you could say. So that's why we're doing that. What this does also give us is from the side, it now looks like an L. So I guess it's kind of telling us we're a bit of a loser. I don't know. Maybe it's not. But essentially, we have the platform, which is this one here. That's the first platform. And that's going to be our first layer. On top of this, we're going to place 2 more layers of orange clay. On top of this, we're going to place a layer of 3 black wool. So it's 3 layers of orange, 1 layer of black wool. Just like before, 3 layers of orange. Not that orange. We want the orange clay. If I can place it properly. There we go. And 1 more layer of black wool. So 3 orange, 1 black, 3 orange, 1 black, and of course the final 4 layers, sorry, my bad. 4 layers is going to be orange. So 3 orange, 1 black, 3 orange, 1 black, 4 orange. And from the side, it looks like this. As you can see, looking a bit more complete, if still not a bit lopsided on the left side. Anyways, come around to the rear side now, and we're going to start making some progress on this. Again, equally as easy. So we start off with the rear side of the legs. As you can see, the left side and the right side is already done. That's 2 layers complete, 2 rows complete, I guess. So if we take 2 away from the 8, it's going to be 6, meaning we're placing 6 blocks per layer. Very, very simple. And we're essentially just connecting up the left side and the right side. So anyways, the first 4 layers is simply going to be 6 orange clay. So again, the first 4 layers is 6 orange clay. The 5th layer is going to be 6 black wool. So 4 orange, 1 black. We're then going to do 3 layers of orange. So 3 layers of orange clay. And then what we're going to do, just like we did on the front side, is we're going to start doing this kind of pattern, like the V pattern. So we place 2 orange, 2 black, 2 orange. Our next layer, which is our 10th layer, we're going to place 1 orange, 1 black, 2 orange, 1 black, 1 orange. The next layer we're going to place is 1 black, 4 orange, 1 black, and then the final layer is simply going to be 6 blocks of orange clay. And again, I feel like I'm rushing through this a bit, but it's very, very simple. Just by looking at this right here, you should be able to build it. But if not, again, the dimensions being 4 layers of orange, 1 layer of black wool, 3 layers of orange. This is our 9th layer, 10th layer, 11th, and 12th. And that again is 12 tall and 8 blocks wide, and that is the rear side of the legs. Okie dokie. So, the rear side of the body. Where do I begin? How difficult is this? Probably the most difficult part of the build, I must tell you. What we're going to do, we're going to build a 12x8 of orange clay. I know, intense. So, what we're going to do is on top of the black wool, we're going to build up 12 using orange clay. And, if you want, just to make sure you're doing it correctly, just link up the front side to the rear side by building back 3 blocks on each side. And that gives you a 12x8 rectangle. What we're going to go ahead and do is fill this all in using our orange clay. And that's essentially it. Very complicated stuff, I know, and I'll try and make videos a lot more easy in the future because I know this stuff is a bit too challenging maybe. But one thing that is interesting, and it's something that I was thinking about a while ago, as you can see, we have a nice hollow side side the statue. I was actually thinking about doing some house tutorials based off the statues, kind of inspired a bit by what TSMC and ADHD Craft have done a few times in the past, so let me know what you think about that. I'll probably put a picture on screen to show you kind of what I mean, but it's definitely an interesting concept, and I think could potentially work pretty well in the future, so let me know if you want to see it. But anyways, as you can see, that is the rear side of the body, 12x8, very, 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 very difficult. So I'll give you guys a few seconds to pause, just in case you want to catch up. Anyways, moving on to the arm here. Just like before, it is indeed 12 tall, 4 wide, nothing has changed, nothing's gone crazy. So what we're going to do is, just like before, we've got the first 3 layers is orange clay. We have a layer of black wool, 3 layers of orange clay, a layer of black wool, and then just like before, 4 layers of orange clay. It is insane how easy this is compared to some of the other statues I've been doing recently. So yeah, that's essentially what it looks like from the rear side. If you want to go ahead and fill the shoulders in, that's also great. And once you've done that, it will end up looking like this. So we have legs, we have a body, and we have a right arm. Of course, we're going to be building the left arm, and that's what we're going to focus on right now. But before we do that, just in case anyone has got left behind a tiny bit, I do want to give you guys the opportunity to catch up. Don't want anyone falling behind because that's not cool. So what we're going to do is a little step-to-step kind of pause session. So the way this is going to work, I'm going to come to a specific part of the statue. For example, this is the front side of the legs. It is 12 tall, 8 wide. I'll give you guys an opportunity to pause. Of course, I'm not going to say that every single time because that'll drive you insane, me insane, probably everyone in this solar system insane. So let's not be doing that because that would be quite unfortunate and pretty much quite rude as well. So anyways, moving on up, we have the front side of the body. That is 12 tall, 8 wide. And we have the front side of the right arm. That lost me there for a second. I lost my train of thought. Kind of vanished into the solar system with all the people I just annoyed. Anyways, continuing. We have the left side of the leg and the left side of the body. That is 24 tall and 4 blocks wide. We have the right side of the leg, which is 12 tall, 4 wide. We have the right side of the arm, which is 12 tall, 4 wide. Going around to the rear side, we have the rear side leg, 12 by 8. We have the rear side of the arm, which is 12 by 4, and the rear side of the body, 12 by 8. And that brings us to the final area, which is the top of the body, the shoulders, which is 12 wide and 4 blocks thick. Okie dokie, so hopefully everyone is up to this point. They have a Freddy that has no head and no left arm, looking rather dandy. So as I said, what we're going to do now is start working on the missing left arm. So, what we're going to do is come to the left side of the body, come to the top left corner, and come to the second block. So we're going to go one to right. Right here we're going to place one orange clay as a 3D effect, and this is going to be our starting point. So again, top left corner, one to right, place one, 3D effect, this is going to be our starting point. Essentially, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lay out the pattern, and then you guys basically just need to follow what I've done and replicate it. So, what we're going to do is from this starter point, again, just in perspective of where we are, we're going to go down diagonal, one to left, and we're going to do this twice more. So we go down diagonal to left 3 times. We now have a row of 4. You can shift this one over to left if you don't want it extending too far over the end. Personally, I'd think it looks pretty decent anyways. Anyways, from this block here, what we're going to do is go down diagonal to right 4 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And it now currently looks like this. So we've got a row of 4 down diagonals, and then from the row of 4 we go down diagonal to right 4 more times. From this block right here, we're going to extend to the right, so going towards the front of the statue, 1, 2, 3. So it now overextends 2 blocks over the front side of the statue. What we're then going to do is go back to the original block, this one right here, and we're going to go down diagonal to right 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you can see, it now matches up in terms of the point. It should be a 2 block gap. Simply go ahead and join that together. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is fill in all the area inside this outline in with our orange clay. And that's essentially the shoulder area of this arm. So as you can see, that's the shoulder area. I know it's a bit difficult to distinguish what's like the actual body and what's the arm, but hopefully you should be able to tell. It's kind of 4 diagonals at the top, a diagonal shape, and then the right angled corner shape. So essentially what we're going to do from here is, from this bottom block here, we're going to go to the right one using black wool, and we're going to go up 1, 2, 3. So we have a strip of black wool. To the right of this, we're going to extend 1, 2, 3 using orange clay, and just like before, we're going to bring it up 3 blocks, so we have a 4 tall by 3 wide area of orange clay. To the right of this, we're going to place another row of black wool, so 4 black wool, and then repeating the pattern, we're going to place another 3 layers of orange clay. So a 4 by 3, 4 tall, 3 wide of orange clay, and it ends up looking like this. So that is essentially our shape. We have the shoulder area, and then we have the arm extended outwards, about to give you a big old hug. So yeah, that is the outline. Again, I'll go nice in, zoomed in and close, so you can see. And again, this is first layer of black wool, 3 layers of orange, 1 layer of black wool, 3 layers of orange. So once you have this shape and general outline, what we're going to go ahead and do is extend it 3 blocks forwards. And what I mean by this is if you're looking at it side on, we're going to come to the outline and we're going to go 1, 2, 3 towards us. So we do this all the way around, including the black wool. So if it's black wool you're building off of, you use black wool. So right here, 1, 2, 3, black wool. If it's orange clay, you use orange clay. pretty self-explanatory stuff. You're essentially just going to follow the outline, extending it forwards 3 blocks, because the arm is 4 wide. So we've got the original block, and then you're going to bring it forwards 3, and that makes it nice and perfect. So again, just follow the outline. It should take a few seconds. As you can see here, I'm kind of rushing through it, but it's very, very simple. And that will loop all the way around, and once you get to the end, simply just build down, and it will loop and give you a shape that looks like this. So essentially, whereas before it was 1 thick, you can see now it is now indeed 1, 2, 3, 4 thick. And then from the other side, you can see it's like a proper 3D arm sticking out. Anyways, so we come around to the side, and you can see here we've got a big old gap. In between the black walls on either side, we're going to place 2 black wool, link it all up, and then the rest we're simply going to go ahead and fill in all using orange clay. And once you've done that, that is basically the arm complete. It looks a lot more complicated than it is, of course, because of like the whole dynamic posing. But as you can see, very, very simple, but yet really effective. It stands out an absolute ton from a lot of the other statues. You can make the arm shorter if you want. That's something I did with the what was it? The guy from Suicide Squad, the guy that like makes everything on fire. Diablo? I forgot his name. I made his arm shorter, so I think I cut off like 4 blocks and just made it here, and it looks kind of cool as well. So if you want to do that, that's up to you. And again, I'm just giving you multiple angles of what it looks like. You can see the arm kind of curves around at the back. You can get rid of this if you want and make it shorter, or you can keep it. It's up to you. You can play around with it a bit, customize it, do whatever you want to do with it. That is cool. But yeah, now I'm going to show you how to add the microphone. So for the microphone, you're going to need black wool and grey wool. We're going to come to the hand region, which is this part here, the 3x4 area of orange, and we're going to go to the top left corner, so this one right here, front left corner, should I say. From here, we're going to go in diagonal, and we place 1 black wool, and we do the exact same from the front right corner, so in diagonal, 1 black wool, and we're going to extend it backwards 1 block, so we place a 2x2 essentially of black wool, which connects up with the black wool here, and then diagonal from the orange. So diagonal from the black, diagonal from the orange, 2x2 in the center. What we're then going to do is on the underside, we're going to repeat this. So we place a 2x2 of black wool on the underside in the exact same location. So essentially the idea is if you punched through, you'd meet the black wool on the other side. It's like he's holding a microphone. That's kind of the point. So as you can see right here, looks like this. Kind of looks like he's lifting weights at the moment. He's doing a gym workout, gym sesh. But anyways, on top of the black wool here, we're going to place a 2x2 cube of grey wool. And once you've done that, it gives him the iconic microphone look. Again, it's a bit like fat to be a microphone, but I guess we can't be picky because it is a Minecraft build, so it's going to be a bit blocky. Ideally, you'd want it to be about half the size, but again, we can't really do that without it being off-centered and looking a tad weird. So anyways, yeah, that is what it looks like. Again, I'm going to give you as many angles as possible just so you can get an idea of what it looks like. I'd imagine both of you guys watching it would have it by now. So, yeah, maybe I'm just wasting your time. But anyways, now I think about it, it kind of looks like he's holding a magic wand. Whatever you want, I don't really mind. So yeah, that is the body. That is the whole body of the statue so far. Once you've done that, we can now move on to the head and make some progress right there. So, let's do it. What we're going to start off by doing is come to the front side, come to the top left corner of the body, this block right here, and place an orange clay. What we're going to do is bring it 1, 2 forwards, and we do the exact same on the right side. On the right side, it's a bit more difficult because you have to count across. So you come to the right side, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th block, place an orange clay, bring it 2 forwards. Essentially, this is marking out where the body is, because this is the arm, 4 blocks, and then the 5th block is the start of the body. If you done it correctly, there should be a 6 block gap in between, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and what this does is gives you an 8x2 overhang. What we're then going to do, if you come around to the left side, is expand backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and same on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and link together just like before by placing a 6x2 in the middle, and that gives you an 8x2 overhang on the rear side. In total, that is an 8x8 square, as you can see here, 8x2 overhang on the front, 8x2 overhang on the rear, and that is our square. Okie dokie, so from here, this is our template. We've got front side, left side, right side, rear side, and we're going to build up each side accordingly. So we're going to start off with the front side, basically the only side that has like actual detail, which is nice, makes it nice and simple. So we've got the first layer already, which is 8 orange clay. The second layer is 1 quartz, 6 black wool, and 1 block of quartz. The next layer is 1 red wool, 4 orange clay, or 4 orange clay? 6 orange clay. Sorry, I can't count. 6 orange clay and 1 red wool. And then the next layer is the exact same. So 1 red wall, 6 orange clay, not 4, it is indeed 6, I've learnt to count now, and 1 red wall. So that is the first 4 layers. Looks a bit weird right now, doesn't it? The next layer, which is the 5th layer, is going to be 1 orange clay, 1 block of quartz, 1 cyan, 2 orange, 1 cyan, 1 quartz, and 1 orange. The next layer is 1 orange, 1 quartz, 1 blue wool, 2 orange, 1 blue, 1 quartz, and 1 orange. The next layer, which is the 7th layer, is 1 orange, 2 black wool, 2 orange, 2 black wool, and 1 block of orange clay. And then the final layer, which is indeed the 8th layer, is going to be 8 orange clay. And once you've done that, that is an 8x8 square. That is our face, and it's looking nothing like Toy Freddy. And that's not a bad thing, because we're going to add some 3D effects, and it's going to make it instantly look a lot more like Toy Freddy. So, where we're going to start, we're going to come to the first layer, we're going to leave a 1 block gap, and we're going to place 6 blocks of orange, leave a 1 block gap, and that's our first layer. Again, this is a 3D effect, so we're putting it on top of, not into. On top of this, we're going to place on the first block, directly above the orange clay, 1 quartz, leave a 1 block gap, place 2, 1 block gap, and 1. And now he kind of looks like he broke his upper jaw, and it's disappeared. The next layer on top of this we're going to place is 6 orange wool. Now he kind of looks like a duck. Oh, I've just realized. Yeah, he does actually look like a duck. He looks like a rip-off kind of Chica. Something you'd get like a fake action figure of Chica if you were buying it from like some market stall. The next layer is 2 orange wool, 2 black wool, and 2 orange. And now you can see it looks a bit more like Mr. Fazbear. So that is essentially the 3D effects. Once you've done that, that is the front side of the face complete. The next thing we're going to do is essentially come around to the left side, and this template we have here, this is our first layer. All we're going to do is build up 7, and we're going to do this all the way around. So we're just building up 7 all the way around, and we're going to loop and follow the template. So this is our template, we follow it all the way around, and it will loop around to the right side of the face. Don't believe me? You'll see as we loop. So you can see here, just turning the corners, building up 7 each time on top of the original layer. So 8x8 squares is essentially what we're creating, and each side is plain orange clay. So it's very, very simple. Of course, you'll need a lot of orange clay, but you probably figured that out by the rest of the tutorial, which has been mainly orange clay. And of course, I'm still messing it up somehow, apparently. There we go. So we're already there, and as you can see, that was nice and simple. So what that does is gives you one 8x8, a second 8x8, and a third 8x8. Beautiful. So this is the right side, as you can see, very plain. Rear side, very plain. Left side, very plain. And there's a good reason for that. It's purely because in the game you don't actually ever see those sides of his head or body, so we can only assume it is indeed plain. If we didn't, we'd be adding detail for no reason. So anyways, with the top side, just go ahead and fill it in with orange clay again. That'll give you, again, another 8x8, which makes sense because the head is an 8x8x8 cube. So if it was anything other, it wouldn't be correct. So that is the top side. What we're now going to do is add 2 more 3D effects, aka ears and hat, and that's going to wrap up the tutorial. So, we come to the front left corner, this one right here. We're going to count 1, 2, and on the third block we place an orange clay, and we do the exact same on the right side. So on the left side and the right side we place 1 orange clay. Now he kind of looks like, again, I don't know what it is, it's always the mouth, kind of reminds me of a beaver. Anyways, what we're going to do from here is go down to 1 to the left and then down on the left side. And on the right side we go to right 1 and down, and that is his 2 ears. Now he's looking a bit more berry. Now what we're going to do is top it off by building a hat, because of course any Freddy Fazbear, whether it being Toy Freddy or any other, needs a good old hat. The only thing that distinguishes this from the normal one is that it's got a red stripe on it. So what we're going to do is, next to this ear, so in line with it on the third layer, we're going to leave 1 block gap, place 4 black wool, 1 block gap, and we're going to extend it backwards 1, 2, 3, so it should be 2 away from the end on each side. So on the left side 2 blocks, right side 2 blocks, rear side 2 blocks, and of course front, linked together, and that gives you a 4x4 square. Now in this middle area we're going to place a 2x2 of red wool. On top of that we're going to place another 2x2 of red wool, And on top of that, to cap it off, we're going to place a 2x2 of black wool. That gives you a 4x4 square with a 2x2 cube on top, and that is essentially the build. Once you've done that, you have your very own Toy Freddy, and it looks something like this. He's holding out his magic wand, or his microphone, whatever you want it to be. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That is the statue complete. So, again, I really do hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate some of you guys are going to be upset because it is kind of a return to Five Nights at Freddy's. And people will, of course, accuse me of, like, I guess, milking it for views and stuff like that. I just want to remind you that ad revenue is literally at an all-time low right now. So if you think that's the reason behind it, then, yeah, that's an interesting choice on my half. But I guess, yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just something that a lot of people have been requesting. I had these designs ready. I've been, like, literally sitting on them for several months. So I thought it's a bit of a waste if I don't put them out, whilst Five Nights at Freddy's is still anywhat relevant. With that said, again, I'm not going to be ditching the other series. I'm still going to be doing Stranger Things, personally just because I love the series. I'm going to be doing Rick and Morty, again, because I love the series. I'm going to be doing a bunch more content around films and television shows coming out in the near future. So stay tuned for that. If you did enjoy this, however, leave a like. I really would appreciate it. And again, it just shows me that there is some support left on the channel, which is really, really cool. If you did enjoy, definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already, and click the notification bell, because just like ad revenue, YouTube isn't doing too well with notifying people. So yeah, if you could click that, that would be awesome. You might actually get an email telling you when I upload, which would be awesome, because then you can actually see my videos. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Till next time, my name has been Tom Gummy. Have a great weekend, guys, and goodbye. Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light